Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and thought, I look so lazy today? Maybe it's oversized sweats. Maybe it's the same hoodie again. Maybe it's hair tied up without much thought. And immediately, there's judgment. I should try harder. Why don't I care anymore? I've become lazy. But what if lazy dressing isn't laziness at all? What if it's information? Clothing is one of the most visible reflections of your internal state. And when your energy is low, emotionally, mentally, physically, your wardrobe often adapts before your conscious mind does. Burnout, for example, reduces cognitive bandwidth. When you're mentally exhausted, decision-making feels heavy. Choosing outfits becomes one more task. So your brain conserves energy. It reaches for the simplest option, not because you don't care, but because you're tired. Depression can do something similar. It lowers motivation and blunts reward. The effort that once felt satisfying, putting together an outfit, accessorizing, experimenting, can feel pointless. Not because you've lost your personality, but because your nervous system is depleted. Anxiety can also influence lazy dressing. If you're feeling socially overwhelmed or hyper-aware of judgment, you might gravitate toward neutral, repetitive, safe clothing. You reduce visibility to reduce perceived threat. From the outside, it looks low effort. On the inside, it's protection. There's also the concept of emotional bandwidth. Some days, you're using all your energy to regulate emotions, manage stress, show up at work, care for others. By the time you get dressed, you have nothing left for aesthetics. So you default. Repetition isn't laziness, it's efficiency. And sometimes comfort-driven style is intentional. Oversized clothing, soft fabrics, minimal structure. These choices can be regulating. When your nervous system feels overstimulated, restrictive clothing can feel unbearable. So you choose softness. That's self-soothing. But here's where it gets nuanced. Lazy dressing becomes concerning only when it feels misaligned. If you look in the mirror and feel disconnected, not because you prefer simplicity, but because you've stopped recognizing yourself, that might be a sign of something deeper. The key question isn't, do I look lazy? It's, do I feel like myself? Minimal style can be powerful. Simple outfits can be intentional. Wearing the same silhouette daily can be grounding. But if you're dressing on autopilot because you feel numb, overwhelmed, or invisible, your wardrobe might be signaling that you need care, not criticism. There's a cultural pressure to always look put together, always curated, always aesthetic. Social media amplifies that expectation. So when you show up in comfort wear, you might internalize shame. But shame doesn't create energy. Compassion does. Instead of judging your lazy outfit, try asking, am I exhausted? Am I anxious? Am I overstimulated? Am I healing? Sometimes what looks like low effort is actually survival mode. And survival mode deserves understanding. That doesn't mean you have to stay there. Sometimes small shifts can gently change your state. Brushing your hair, adding one accessory, changing into clean, comfortable clothes instead of worn-out ones. Not to impress, but to reconnect. Because clothing can either reinforce depletion or support recovery. You don't need a dramatic transformation. You need awareness.
Lazy dressing isn't always laziness. Sometimes it's your nervous system asking for rest. Sometimes it's emotional fatigue. Sometimes it's protection. And sometimes it's simply preference. The difference lies in intention. So the next time you feel tempted to criticize your reflection, pause. What is your outfit protecting? What is it communicating? What does it need? If this resonated with you, subscribe and join this space. We're building a community of women who explore identity, mental health, and emotional growth through fashion. Because sometimes the hoodie isn't laziness, it's language.